Wow, okay. So I did a video like 3 weeks ago about how I did a really terrible job in a job interview. And I was like depressed about it for 2 days. And it was kind of like FE Inferior and FI Demon. Like, I felt unacceptable. But I heard back from them today and feeling a very strong emotional response from it. So, I'm just like purging and all that. But like, the inferior function, it's a pessimistic function. So like, you tend to think in a more pessimistic way with the experiences you have. And no matter what type you are, you could apply that to what your cognitive function is in that area, the fourth function. And then it's on an orbit with the demon function. So for an ISTP and an INTP, it's FE inferior, being like a little baby, very sensitive. And then the orbits with FI demon, which is like values, feeling valuable, like how do you feel about yourself? And by default, it's like a demonic function. So it's like hatred, self-loathing, things like that, which I've done so much work on that. I feel like I'm able to use it as an angelic function. So it's like self-love and stuff like that, self-acceptance. But still FE inferior, still FE inferior could still have that negative lens when it's looking out at the world. And then, just feeling like the world doesn't accept you, or these people who seem to be really good people with high standards and like highly ethical and moral, representing this company that seems like a really quality company. And as a nurse, that's one of the jobs. You were supposed to be benevolent and ethical and all these beautiful qualities about a nurse, because you're like on the front line. You advocate for the patient. You have to really be a good person to be a good nurse, because it's not just, oh, let me change your diaper, let me get medicine for you. It's so much more than that, being a nurse, and it's a big deal. So yeah, my emotional reaction is just like, just bringing up the feelings of like, oh, like, I guess they did like me. They do think I'm worthy. That kind of thing. So I'm sure there's other people who have felt this way or will feel this way at some point in time. So, I just wanted to just quickly say something about it. And so it's just a reminder, like, hey, if you're having a negative response to something that happened and it's in your inferior there, like, maybe it wasn't as bad as you thought. Maybe those people they hate you. I mean, think about it, like at my jiu-jitsu gym, like, I don't know, 4 years ago, I don't know how long ago it was, like, I went to open mat, and then like the owner comes in and he's an ESTJ, and he's just like, oh, hey, what's up, like that. But it was a very, like, there was no, it was just like something you do to anyone off the street. It was like, okay, like, FE inferior, like, I wanted to cry in that moment, because it's like, I don't know, it just thinks that people don't like it. Like, oh, you don't like me. Oh, you didn't give me special treatment in this way, so you don't like me, or you hate me. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous, but like the baby function, the inferior, the fourth function, people, no matter what type you are, yes, your inferior function can be a little bit ridiculous at times. And it's part of our growth. And just being self-aware, like, hey, like, maybe those people, like, weren't really looking at you like you're unacceptable. Maybe they were thinking about something completely different, or, you know. Anyway, yeah. I also noticed, actually, I was talking with my friend about this the other day. We were talking about ENTPs and how we both are in agreement with this, that ENTPs can feel like their personal experience, their SI, is the truth. And so they can mistake their experience for being the truth. And I mean, that's pretty much what I just did with FE Inferior. I mistook my FE Inferior lens as the truth. Like, oh, they hate me. They think I'm unacceptable. That's not true. That's just the inferior function being a little baby, seeing the world with little baby eyes, negative eyes. So anyway, yeah, I got a nice cry out of it, release more emotion. Great. And, you know, just told myself, you're a good person, sweetheart, because, you know, like, ISTPs can feel like, even as kids, that just people think we're unacceptable. It's just how we feel. We feel unacceptable. So this just brought up all those feelings, and it's like, you know, we have to validate ourselves, because a lot of the people in the world, they're not going to be very kind and generous with validation, or, like, you know, people like to keep to themselves a lot and whatever. So part of the path for growth for ISTPs is learning to validate yourself and being like, yes, I am a good person. Yes, I am worthy, etc., etc. Like, I saw this little clip the other day. It was one of those things, it's like, if someone says this, they're manipulating you. I don't like those, because it's not black and white. Like, there's a couple things on that list where I was like, no, that's not true 100% of the time. Like, one of the things on that list was if someone says, I'm a good person, and they're like, oh, that means they're not a good person, because a good person shows you they're a good person. Well, you know what? That's actually not true 100% of the time. I will say I am a good person because, one, I'm validating myself. Two, when someone tries to make me feel like guilty or feel like a bad person, or it's just my lens thinking that they're telling me this, I am validating myself. This is a positive thing. Does it mean that I am trying to manipulate you because I'm saying I'm a good person? No, it doesn't. Do people do that sometimes? Sure. But you can't just make a blanket statement like that and say, oh yeah, that's always the case, because that's just not true. That's not true. Yeah, the world is not black and white. So anyway, lesson for FE Inferior. Don't assume the worst, okay? Don't assume the worst. And same with all the other inferiors out there. Try not to assume the worst, because, yeah, maybe assume the best, you know? Or not assume the best, but just be positive. Positive. Whatever, I don't care. Be what you want. I don't give a fuck. I do, but I don't, you know. Anyway, that's it.